Hi there, and welcome to the Mindful Marathon podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Quirk, a run coach and pediatrician. Mindful Marathon is all about helping runners of all types to run their own race. Whether you are a seasoned runner or you're just getting started, I want to let you know that you're welcome here and that you're in the right place. Hi, my friend, and welcome back to the podcast. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to celebrate a very big milestone with you, my dear listener. So recently, the podcast officially hit 10,000 downloads. So a big, big thank you for listening, for sharing the episodes that resonated with you with your friends and family, for your feedback, for your lovely messages and ideas for future episodes. I really appreciate this and you. And my big ask this week is that if you haven't yet left us a review on the platform on which you are listening right now, I would really appreciate that so much. I know that I ask for reviews often, but it really helps other runners to find the podcast and it will help us get to the next 10,000 downloads. So now for the episode. This week, I'm bringing back one of my favorite conversations from the archives because it is very timely. We're in the middle of a pretty nasty heat wave here in Philly, and I think around the country, really. A few weeks ago, we had the episode about running in the heat and humidity. And I feel like we do spend a good amount of time thinking about hydration, electrolytes, how to stay cool in the summer and when running in the heat. But I don't know that we always think about protecting our skin and sun protection while we're out there. So in this replay, I'm joined by board certified dermatologist Dr. Stephanie Campbell, who is also a runner herself, and we talk about practical ways to protect your skin during training, things like how to choose a sunscreen that actually works for runners, how often to apply and when to reapply on long runs, and lots of just simple gear changes that can make a really big difference. So, as we navigate this heat wave together, I hope that you find this conversation just as helpful today as when we first recorded it. Hi, everybody. Today I have a very special guest with me. I have with me Dr. Steffi Campbell, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me. I am a board certified dermatologist and dermatologic surgeon. I'm also a wife, a mom of two little ones, and like you, I'm also a runner. I help in my clinical practice, I help adults and children who are suffering from the burdens of skin conditions, whether it's medical or cosmetic, that's affecting their quality of life, to look and feel confident in their skin. I also have a special interest in empowering women who are moms to look and feel their best so that they can confidently go out to pursue their ambitions.
I love it. I love what you do. So, Dr. Steffi, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. We are going to talk about some of the common skin issues that affect runners and walkers. So, can you tell us what you see most often in your clinical practice?
Yes, so the most common conditions I see in runners and walkers are premature aging of the skin, precancers, and skin cancers. They're super common skin conditions that occurs when you don't have sun protection and you're out. And runners, you could be a long distance runner or just out for a quick walk, but sun protection is especially important in those who are active and outdoors a lot. And so those skin conditions like precancers and skin cancers, they really just can develop over a long period of time. So it's super important to have sun protection during exercise.
All right. So, Dr. Steffi, you were talking a little bit about sunscreen. Can you tell
Mhm.
us as far as what number SPF we need to be using and how often we should be applying sunscreen, and just elaborate a little bit about how we need to use sunscreen most effectively?
Sure. The number on the SPF you want to look for is a minimum of 30, and that's the recommendations from the American Academy of Dermatology is at least an SPF of 30. And I would apply it at least once in the morning, but I also for runners it'll be important to reapply, especially if you're going on long runs. So when you're choosing a sunscreen, you want to look at not only the number, like the SPF number, but also what the ingredients are in there. So you
Okay.
asked about the having your sunscreen in your moisturizer.
Yeah, usually what I use in the morning is a moisturizer that has SPF 30 in it. And that's usually what's on when I go for a run, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that is okay or if I should be using a separate product that is.
the sunscreen. Yes. And that's an excellent question. And the number is important, but also what's important is what the ingredients are in the sunscreen. So there's lots of different ingredients that you'll see from chemical sunscreens like avobenzone, benzophenone, and there's tons of other names that you'll see on the back of ingredients. I always
Mhm.
encourage my patients to look at what the ingredients are that they're applying. There's also the physical sunscreen ingredients like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. A lot of times in makeup, there's titanium dioxide powders, or there is that ingredient there. But for runners, the best ingredient that you want is going to be zinc oxide. It's going to be
Okay.
something that's broad,
Mhm.
and that basically means it's protecting you from UVA and UVB. Well, that's going to be your best bet because UVB is the wavelength that is shorter that burns your skin, and UVA is what's responsible for more aging of the skin. It has deeper penetration. So sometimes you may see some sunscreens that only protect you against one UV spectrum and not the other. So you definitely want something that's broad spectrum.
Okay.
And zinc oxide is great, but it has its fallbacks. And one of the reasons why people may not really like applying zinc oxide is because it has that white kind of texture.
Yeah.
And what I like to use is a tinted zinc oxide, so you don't see have that white cast on your face. But that would be the best broad spectrum protection.
Okay. And then as far
Yeah.
as the number, so we should be using at least an SPF 30. Is it okay to use higher, or is it just not as necessary? Or what would you recommend as far as the number?
Yeah, so it's okay to go higher than 30. That would be
Mhm.
totally fine. So you just
Okay.
want to use the minimum of 30 and just choose the one that you like, that's cosmetically like satisfying to you, that works. And so that way you'll want to apply it every day.
Okay. No, that's great advice. I just thought of something that you will appreciate. In a long race in the sun,
Yeah.
I had two tips for how to carry some sunscreen with me. And one is that I squirted a little bit in a Ziploc baggie and put it in my pocket to reapply in the middle of the race. And the
Yes.
other was to put some in a contact lens case and put it in your pocket and reapply. This is for a marathon or something where you're going to be
Yeah.
out for a couple hours.
Yes, definitely. And I have some skin tips for you as well. And that includes actually on the go sunscreen.
Oh, yes.
So
Oh, please tell us. So you have some
okay.
tips.
So I was thinking about marathons, and I've done a few marathons. It's been a while since I had my last marathon because I took a little break after during pregnancy and after nursing and all that stuff, but I'm getting back into it. But I do remember when you're going on a long marathon, do you wear those like backpacks, or not backpacks, maybe like a fanny pack, or do you have an area where you can stash some stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so my first tip is what you mentioned of when you apply your sunscreen as a marathon runner, it's not going to really protect you and last throughout your whole race. And you mentioned that you squirted some into is it a Ziploc bag you said?
Yeah, I have a Ziploc
Yeah.
bag, and then I also heard from another runner to put it in a contact lens case, and I thought that was
Yeah.
a little bit cleaner.
Yeah. And I guess it depends on what kind of space you have, right? How much there is this little You see that?
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
And it comes in a small, it's
A
like a
stick?
almost a mini deodorant. So
Yeah.
this is just,
Oh,
it's blue lizard and
awesome.
it's 20% zinc oxide. You just twist it and you can apply
Oh, that's so
it.
good.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that would be a good something that you can. They really should sell a tinted version too, and I think that would be. I have to look to see if there is a tinted one available, but this one is just Blue Wizard,
Okay.
20% zinc oxide. The other thing that I like to use, and not just for running, is I carry this in my purse all the time. So I have and this is actually one that I sell in my skincare line, but it is a brush
Okay.
that has powder and it has 24% zinc oxide and 22.5% titanium dioxide.
Okay.
And you just basically, I'll show you, brush it on your face. It's not as reliable in terms of applying it uniformly as the regular cream or the stick, but it's still a really good way to reapply, especially if you have makeup on, you're going to work and you have sunscreen and then you have makeup over and you don't want to apply a thick cream over it. You can use this brush or the brush on sunscreen
Oh, yeah,
powder.
that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have
Sure.
recommendations for a hat or a visor or,
Yes.
something like that?
You led right into my next tip.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a couple of different examples to show you because
Okay.
I'm really big on sun protection when I'm running. I'm a visor wearer, but if you're someone who has thinning skin on the top or thinning hair on your
Hmm.
scalp, then I would advise to wear a hat and not a visor.
Hmm.
Especially true in men
Yeah.
because I've seen so much skin cancer on the top of the scalp.
Okay.
So number one is a visor, a normal looking visor, but the bill is a lot longer.
I see.
So I
Yeah.
would do something that's a lot longer and one that has UPF, sun protection.
Okay.
And they also sell the visors that are also wider and not just longer. So you can actually get the bills that are have a lot more protection, like wider brim.
Mm.
So there's that. And there's also ones that are, they're all demo it for you.
Thank you. That's great.
So this is
Oh,
so I
wow.
have and it straps in the back like that. And you have a wider brim as well as a longer. So
Yeah.
that's the and also like when you're running, you want to wear a hat that has good protection, but
Hmm.
also that doesn't move around so much on your head. Something
Yeah.
that doesn't distract you. And so I think finding the right one that suits your head circumference and your fashion sense
Yeah.
would be great.
I'm probably going to have to invest in a wider brim. This is because I have a couple of visors, but I don't think they're very, yeah, I don't think they provide as much coverage as I probably should. All right. All right. I love all of the visor tips. Okay. Now, do you have a third tip for us?
My third tip is for long runners or just winter sports because you live in a colder climate, right? And
Mhm.
you may run outside sometimes. I live in Oregon, it's rainy all the time here and it's mostly cloudy on most days. But my third tip is sun protection or skin protection from just weather and environment like wind chapped skin or
Mhm.
just even if you're doing some kind of winter sport like skiing or anything where you're outdoors where it's really windy, is applying dimethicone.
Oh,
And this is made by a brand called Taizo, but it is an environmental skin protectant. And so that can protect dimethicone is basically synthetic silicone and it is good to prevent skin irritation by providing a barrier to the skin.
yeah.
So
Oh,
that
that's
can be
great.
helpful.
Oh, these are great. Thank you so much for all of these tips. It was really helpful.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. One thing that really stood out to me listening back to this conversation is that protecting our skin deserves attention in the same way that we place attention on running for our cardiovascular health, our mental health, strength workouts. It deserves a place there. So, if today's episode prompted you to replace an old bottle of sunscreen, buy a better hat with better sun protection, or simply remember to reapply before your next long run, I'm going to call that a win. And Dr. Campbell will as well. Before we close it out, just a couple of announcements and updates. First, if you are local to the Philadelphia area, just one last plug for our free in-person workshop coming up on Sunday, July 12th at the Roadrunner Sports in King of Prussia. This is a summer pop-up event, and we are going to be offering a number of things. So I will be there offering run coach consults so we can discuss your training, upcoming race plans, especially with the fall race season ahead, and any questions or obstacles you have with your running right now. And then physical therapist Dr. Katie Vieira will be offering injury screens. And registered dietitian May Tran is also going to be with us offering nutrition resources. So we've got a lot going on there, and the running store is going to feed us lunch and provide a lot of fun raffle prizes. So if you are in this area, we would love to see you. Please RSVP. So the event is free, but if you would like to partake in the coaching consults or the injury screens, those spots are limited. So please RSVP and sign up for your spot at the link in the show notes. At the time of this recording, there are about 5 spots left for both me and Katie. So head on over there if you want to come. And then my last announcement is that my September Rest RX retreat for women physicians is officially sold out. I'm deep in the planning phases for that, which brings me a lot of joy and excitement as I look forward to this event every year. With that said, if you'd like to be on the cancellation list, please email me and let me know. And if you want to get on the wait list for the upcoming spring retreat, that is going to be in early March of 2027, that link to join the wait list is in the show notes. And you guys will be the first to know when it opens and get all of the early bird bonuses associated with that. So that is all I have for you today. Stay cool out there and have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it with a friend. And if you have a moment, please rate and review the podcast so that we can reach and encourage others to tie on their sneakers and join us out there on a run. See you next time.